Medusa, from beautiful woman to an unforgettable monster. Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Who hasn't heard of Medusa? The woman with snake hair who can turn anyone into stone with just one look. But while we often hear about Medusa as a terrifying monster, did you know her story is far more complex and tragic? Medusa wasn't always a monster. She was a victim of actions taken by gods greater than her. In today's video, we're going to dive deep into Medusa's story, how she became what we know her as now, and uncover some unique facts you might not know. The script explores the tragic transformation of Medusa from a beautiful priestess to a monster, highlighting themes of beauty, betrayal, and the complexity of her character. Who was Medusa before the curse? Medusa wasn't always a terrifying creature. In fact, she was a very ordinary woman, and an extraordinary one at that, especially when it came to her beauty. Her beauty was so legendary that everyone who saw her was entranced, including the gods themselves. Medusa was one of the three Gorgons, but she was different from her sisters, Stheno and Uriel. While her sisters were born with frightening faces, Medusa was a human who possessed stunning beauty. Before becoming a monster, Medusa served as a priestess in Athena's temple. As a priestess, Medusa vowed to uphold the sanctity and honor of the temple. In many ways, Medusa embodied the highest moral values. However, her beauty became the very thing that led to her downfall. In ancient Greek society, beauty wasn't always a blessing. It was often a curse. The tragic transformation of Medusa from a beautiful priestess to a monster, highlighting themes of beauty, betrayal, and the complexity of her character. Everything changed when Poseidon, the god of the sea, took notice of Medusa. Poseidon, who was powerful and irresistible, couldn't resist the allure of Medusa. However, the encounter between Poseidon and Medusa in Athena's temple would be the turning point that led to Medusa's tragic fate. In some versions of the story, Poseidon assaulted Medusa within the temple of Athena. And because the violation occurred in such a sacred place, Athena was furious and felt deeply insulted. But here's the most heartbreaking part of Medusa's story. As a consequence of the event, Athena, feeling that her temple had been defiled, decided to punish Medusa in a way that was unimaginably cruel. Athena cursed Medusa, turning her from a beautiful woman into a horrifying creature. Her once beautiful hair turned into venomous snakes that could bite anyone who came too close, and her face, once a symbol of grace, was transformed into a terrifying visage. However, this curse wasn't just physical. It also represented a dramatic shift in Medusa's life, from a woman full of hope and promise to a figure of isolation, filled with suffering and punishment for a crime she never committed. Medusa, once revered for her beauty and honor, was now abandoned to a life of bitterness and loneliness, and this marked the beginning of Medusa's journey into becoming the monster we know today. Despite being cursed, Medusa didn't simply fade into the background. Her story continues with the arrival of a hero, Perseus, the son of Zeus and Danae. King Polydectes, wanting to rid himself of Perseus, tasked him with bringing Medusa's head as a gift. To accomplish this task, Perseus was aided by the gods. Hermes, the messenger god, gave him winged sandals that allowed Perseus to move at great speed. Athena, the same goddess who cursed Medusa, provided him with a bronze shield that was highly reflective. Additionally, Perseus was given a helmet of invisibility by Hades, allowing him to move unseen. Equipped with these powerful tools, Perseus traveled to the farthest reaches of the world, to a dark and lonely place where Medusa resided. After some time, Perseus finally found Medusa sleeping. Carefully and bravely, he used the shield to view Medusa's reflection and, in one swift motion, severed her head. From the blood that spilled from Medusa's body, two legendary creatures were born: Pegasus, the winged horse, and Chrysaor, a giant hero. Perseus's victory over Medusa was monumental, but it also marked the tragic end of a powerful and sorrowful story. The tragic transformation of Medusa from a beautiful priestess to a monster highlighting themes of beauty, betrayal, and the complexity of her character. Now that we've explored Medusa's story, let's dive into some unique facts that you might not know about her.
1. Medusa as a symbol of immortality.
Even though Perseus beheaded Medusa, her head remained a powerful artifact. Medusa's head, capable of turning anyone to stone with a mere glance, was used by Perseus for various purposes. Eventually, it was given to Athena, who placed it on her shield as a symbol of protection.
2. Medusa as a feminist icon.
In modern interpretations, Medusa is often seen as a symbol of female empowerment and a victim of sexual violence. Medusa is portrayed not just as a monster, but as a victim of forces beyond her control. This interpretation casts Medusa as a figure of strength hidden behind her curse, a powerful being who is ultimately seeking revenge against a world that has wronged her.
3. Medusa in popular culture.
Medusa has become a staple in popular culture, making appearances in films, books, and art. From Clash of the Titans to Percy Jackson, Medusa remains a captivating character, often depicted in various ways, from a terrifying monster to a tragic victim. In each retelling, Medusa's power and symbolism resonate in different forms, making her one of the most enduring figures in mythology.
4. Symbolic meaning in art.
In art, Medusa has become a symbol of many powerful themes. One of the most famous works is Caravaggio's painting Medusa, which depicts her face full of pain and anger after her head is severed. The painting reflects how Medusa is not just a figure of power, but also of suffering and inevitability.
5. Medusa's relationship with other gods.
Beyond Perseus and Athena, Medusa had interesting interactions with other gods in Greek mythology. Some versions of the story suggest that other gods, like Apollo, had different views on Medusa and her curse. Some myths even suggest that Medusa was once admired by these gods before her tragic transformation. So, what can we learn from Medusa's story? Is she just a terrifying monster, or is she more, a woman forced to endure an incredibly tragic fate? Medusa is a symbol of power, suffering, and unjust fate. She reminds us that not all monsters are evil, and sometimes we need to look deeper to understand the true story. Medusa's tale is one full of layers, of love, betrayal, strength, and justice. Perhaps by viewing Medusa through this lens, we can learn to be more thoughtful when judging something based only on its appearance. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy these mythological deep dives. Leave a comment below if you have any other mythological figures you'd like us to explore in future videos. See you in the next one.